Okay. So I did what I said I was going to do. I went out and I sort of thought about the trade off that I was referring to there. Um, and then I came up with something that I thought was a synthesis, a solution slash synthesis. And then I rushed back to tell my imaginary friend about it, uh, which was interesting. This whole thing is interesting because one big reason it's interesting because this is the way my brain normally works. This is the way my brain's been working for years. So the fact that I'm surprised that this is like happening um, is in itself wild. It's just like remembering, oh yeah, this is the way I am. This is like who I am. It's just the last 6 months I've been high on marijuana and just straight the whole time. There was just periods when I was like really high, and then periods when I was a little bit high. But this is how I typically have lived my life for like 20 years. So it shouldn't be surprising, but I'm surprised by it. So it's wild. Also, I did get these at the 7-Eleven, kind of for a reason that I'll get into in a minute as I explain the thought process, but also partially because it's just kind of wild to think that, like we're past, like in Minnesota, first of all, it's negative. It's probably negative 20 degrees outside. The liquor stores are closed. You can't just go to a 7-Eleven and spend $3 on two of these and then drink them in the 7-Eleven and then go walk around on the street in warm weather drinking them. So I didn't even really want them, but it was sort of like, holy shit, I have to do this because I can. Kind of the same reason I lost like $15 playing. I lost 500 NT playing Texas Hold'em poker yesterday, which was pointless and stupid. I shouldn't have done that. But it was just like, oh shit, I can play poker legally in Taiwan. I got to do it at least once, a little bit. So what happened was I almost had like a round two of what happened earlier this morning because I went for a walk and I knew exactly where I was going. Going to that 7-Eleven, there's an upstairs area, going to get a cheap drink, sit down, nobody's going to bother me, nobody's going to stare at me, do some writing, figure it out. Guess what? I get there at 6:55. The upstairs area closes at 7 p.m. Why do they close? Why do they even bother closing the upstairs area at all? I don't know. I think it's because they don't want people like living there, basically. So again, I'm back in the same situation as earlier today where it's like, all right, now I'm walking around, I'm looking for a place that, and this is, by the way, how I spent like maybe 3 full years in Juhai, just walking around looking for the right place with the right milk tea and the right, whatever it is, Wi-Fi or the enough people or not too many people or whatever. I do love me some Jameson, but only after you've been drinking it for a little bit. The first few sips are always disgusting, and then the like fifth or sixth sip, it's just like, ooh, that is delicious. I don't know what that's about, but anyways, also this is actually like the perfect lemon honey water, the perfect. So I leave that 7-Eleven, but I'm like, I'm golden. Because the McDonald's is open. I'm gonna go to the McDonald's. The McDonald's will be perfect. Turns out, Friday night at 7 o'clock, The McDonald's in Hualien, Taiwan is not like the McDonald's in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is not quiet inside. Um, the one in Minneapolis, Minnesota would only have, a couple of meth heads, the only people in there. They don't give a shit what you're doing as long as you don't care what they're doing. Um, so anyways, so I go to the McDonald's thinking, it's got 2 floors. Surely the second floor is going to be quiet, and I can just find a nice spot, stare out the window, and just quietly do some writing. No, it is packed. It is packed with teenagers. It is not a good place to sit and do some writing as a foreigner. You're going to be getting a lot of stares. And so I was almost, and I bought like chicken McNuggets, like again, for like the 300th time today. I just bought some food that I didn't even want just so I could be in a place without not having bought anything. And then I did eat them, even though I wasn't hungry at all. And then, and then, but by the time I even got up, got to eating my food, I already realized this isn't going to work. Not the way I had hoped. However, then I started writing into ChatGPT on my phone. Because here's the thing, it is weird to take out a notebook, especially on a Friday night in a busy place, in a resort town or whatever you call it, like in a party city, and start writing like quietly as if you're like in a library. But it's never weird to be on your phone. Nobody knows what you're doing on your phone. It's totally, so it's just, you can always be on your phone. For all they know, you're orchestrating a party. So you can be on your phone. So I was just writing into ChatGPT what I would basically be writing into a notebook, and it worked great. So instead of going outside and searching endlessly for yet another spot, I just started writing ChatGPT, and I realized rather quickly that again, yes, there is a synthesis between these two things. It's not really a trade-off. There is a way that it doesn't have to be a trade-off, which is that instead of thinking in terms of like either I'm gonna work on the Taiwan directory and that's the only thing I do, or I'm gonna go socialize and enjoy myself. Actually, I could socialize in a way that is work. It feels like I'm getting work done. Which is to say that I should socialize with the intention of finding a business partner. Because, oh, and by the way, but before that, while I was doing this, apparently the U.S. captured Maduro, which is wild. We can do that? It's a little bit scary to think we can do that. I mean, I guess like, yeah, it's pretty cheap. Like, and you wouldn't want people doing that to us. And I don't know, whatever. There's a lot to there's a lot to go into there, but I mean, it's almost like don't look a gift horse in the mouth sort of a situation. But anyways, so it's way too early for me to assume that I can't find a Taiwanese business partner. Like, that may be the case. I may find that it's exactly the same as the US, that it's a waste of time, that the people that could actually help me are not really interested in helping me, at least not for without pay, that the people who say they're interested are just really just trying to waste my time, etc. And I'll go through the history of this in a second, which I already have done in other live streams. But I shouldn't assume that that's the case in Taiwan. It's still theoretically possible, hypothetically possible, that I will meet somebody here that either wants to invest in my business or that just gets my business, that thinks it's cool, that wants to be a part of it. I just realized I need to put something else like in the background or something, because and then I just need to look at a different page because I can keep doing this. Because in the off chance that I actually get a viewer on here on the live stream, it's going to fuck me up and I'm going to lose my train of thought. So I need to look at something else so that I don't know that I have a viewer. Maybe I'll just open up that very same the chat from earlier tonight, assuming the icon. Anyway, so here's the chat that happened. This one actually hijacked my train of thought too, because it's like the same exact thing. It's like in the same channel, but it's not what I'm actually trying to say at this moment in time. So, well, we'll just leave it here. Anyways, so right. So I should be open to the party. Anybody could potentially be a valuable business partner to me. And not just people who do SEO or digital marketing, like literally anybody. If I could work with Mo and Ali, then I can work with almost 90. I could probably work with 99% of the Taiwanese population. And as I was walking home, I was thinking about this, and I was like, literally anybody except for children. And you know what? Maybe even children, because you know what? Two kids came up to me today and just stared at me, and they think I'm like a Disney character. I think either they've either never seen a foreigner before, or they've only ever seen foreigners as the English teachers who are like animated, and they're like, "Hey, what's up, kids?" So they like think that all foreigners are just like really friendly, but like cartoon characters of human beings, and which is fine. But and I was like, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to have a kid work for me, but you know what? Kids have parents, and if that's the thing, if the kid comes up to you and starts being like, "Oh, are you a foreigner? Are you an alien?" And that's what gets you talking with their parents, and then their parents ultimately are become a business partner. That's fine. That's totally fine. So yeah, it's theoretically possible somebody could decide they're interested in investing in my business. It's possible they could just get it in ways that most Americans just haven't been able to fucking get it. It's possible that they could do sales for me. It's possible that they could do marketing for me. All of these things are theoretically possible. And it would be stupid right now to just start with the assumption that every single person is a waste of time. And so that doesn't mean that I'm going to go party it up nonstop. And it also doesn't mean that every single person I talk to, I'm only going to talk to them about my business and nothing else. And I'm just going to immediately, everybody I talk to, I'll be like, you want to be a business partner? It's not saying that, but it is saying like, I should put myself in a situation to meet lots of people and feel free to talk with them about lots of topics, but with the ultimate goal that what I'm trying that I do have a goal for my networking. And the more people I talk to, and then the more times I'm going to get into conversations about my business. And the more conversations I get into about my business, the more likely I will ultimately meet somebody that can be an actual business partner to me. And that was the other thing I was just saying earlier about why I bought the Jameson, is that having had this thought, I realized that considering that it is Saturday night, I might decide to go out and talk with a bunch of people, try to talk with people. And tonight would be the night to just go talk to people, just go meet people, and see whether or not any of them have any interest in my business. I guess it's even more at a even more basic level than finding a business partner. It's literally just like, do you have interest in my business? Because with Americans, I found actually towards the end of more recently, that people have been interested in my business, but I feel like that interest is very superficial. That if you scratch the surface at all, they're not really interested. But yeah, maybe like people are just interested in it because, for a long time, no Americans wanted to hear me talk about my business at all, period, which is part of the reason why I do this now. Because at a certain point, I just had to embrace talking to myself. And then I found that the people that were interested in talking about my business were quite often very full of shit. A significant number of them were not actually interested in my business. They just wanted a friend or a drinking buddy or something like that, or just compulsive networkers. They just wanted to have it as a thing that they had as a hobby that they're working on, but they're not really serious about it. Yeah, or they're my pre-existing friends just blowing smoke up my ass, just trying to, oh yeah, I'm interested, but they're not at all interested. Or they're like a fake client, pretending that they're interested in my services and paying me for my services, but really they just want to hang out. And that's pretty much the whole. And there's William, and then there's just endless smaller conversations with people where they're trying to give me advice and they have no fucking clue what they're talking about. And lots of people that just don't get it, or lots of people that they could actually help me, but they just can't understand why they should, or something. Just sort of limited thinking. Anyways, so it just got to the point in America where I was like, just don't even try. Just don't even fucking try. Because yes, it's theoretically possible that you will find somebody that either is willing to work with you without getting paid, to be a partner, to be a co-founder, or you'll find somebody that's interested in investing or something, whatever. But it's so unlikely. You're so much more likely to waste your time talking with people that will ultimately never pan out, that just stop. You're way better off just not talking to people about your business unless they are an SEO agency or they are a potential client. And other than that, hey, if they are interested, if they're truly interested, send them a video. And if they can't be bothered to watch a video, and not even a video custom made for them, just one of my pre-existing videos, send them a video. And if they can't be bothered to watch a video, then they're not serious. So you saved yourself time. Anyways, this little Jameson bottle is so cool looking. I can't get over how cool looking it is. I don't know I feel that way. I'll never throw it away. The other thing about Jameson is that I really truly just like the mouth taste of it. I don't even want to drink it to get drunk. So having like a tiny amount is so good. That said, I've never really done this before in my whole life. I hope this isn't the gateway to actual alcoholism. I don't think so though, because like this is making it more difficult for me to do this right now. And so why would I really do something on a regular basis? Which is clearly this is what I enjoy doing, is like moving this forward. Like, cause like in fact, the whole like, oh, it's Friday night, like go out and party, you know, like that like faded away as soon as I had this like realization. It's like once I realized that I could party, that was enough of like a dopamine hit that I didn't need to party. And that is typically, as I was saying at the beginning, how my life has always worked. It's just like dopamine hit, just chasing these dopamine hits of when I have cognitive dissonance, two different diverging ideas, and I manage to weave them back together. And that makes me so happy that I just keep going on to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, day after day. Okay, anyways, so yeah. So on the one hand, there's searching for a partner, knowing that maybe it won't happen, but being open to the possibility that will happen. And knowing that the best way to make it happen, if it is going to happen, is to just meet lots of people and have lots of conversations with them and see where those go. And don't be afraid of bringing up my business, but don't also don't force it. Matter of fact, honestly, I could be way more forceful about it because people aren't. I've like developed like in the US this thing like just don't talk to people about your business. It's a waste of time, and either they're going to have a negative reaction or they're going to waste your time. There's only two possibilities, so it's better off you just avoid it at all if at all possible. Just avoid the topic. And in Taiwan here, I could way more tell people like right off the bat, like this is who I am, this is what I'm about, I'm running this business, and then gauge their level of interest. And if they're not that interested, just move along and talk to somebody else. And if they are interested, then keep it going. I don't actually plan to do that, but I could really push it. But that's the way I was, when I was much younger, starting businesses like English schools, and it was a terrible way of being. But in this case, like I honestly could get away with it because it's not the case where it's like, this is a new idea that I have, I hope it's going to work. Like this is something that I've been struggling with for years already. But yeah, in terms of like on any given day, like there's two, and honestly, the thing, the directory is also for the sake of finding a partner. So it's just two different ways of trying to find a partner. And all day, but if I meet lots of people and have lots of conversations, if I happen to meet a woman that I like in the meanwhile, that would also be fine. That would also be great. But it's just good for me to not be like precluding that possibility in my life of meeting friends, girlfriends, good contacts. Because I do have, it's not like impossible that something good will come of it, because it is possible that I'll find a business partner from it. And then at any given moment, I can decide for myself, what do I feel like doing right now? Do I feel like working on the directory, or do I feel like networking for the sake of hopefully finding a business partner? Both are okay. It's just up to me which one I feel like is more, it's going to be more fruitful at that given moment in time or that day or whatever. So that's all great. That's all glorious. I'm super happy with that. And again, I almost want to not go out tonight specifically because I came up with this. I'm happy about having come up with this reason to that I can go out. But I know there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, but I feel like there's something else, like a more related point here that I'm kind of super semi missing. Maybe I was going through my previous attempts at finding partners, or what was going on in the U.S. versus, or something about how my brain works and how this works and how that works. The Jameson, the alcohol, the 7-Eleven, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's here. Maybe what I'm missing is right here. Or like the synthesis, how things feel like a trade off, but then there's actually a synthesis available. Right. But I have been just like, my default in America was to operate as though it is impossible to find a business partner. And I knew it wasn't impossible, but it's so unlikely that it's much easier to operate as if it's impossible. Otherwise, you're going to waste tons of time. But yeah, so I shouldn't necessarily do that here. I don't need to have that as my default assumption. I should have my default assumption that if I meet enough people and I have enough different conversations with enough different people, I will probably meet some people that can be very helpful to my business. That's interesting. Because I swear to God that all I've ever seen people say before is like 酒后, like something like ginger 酒后驾驶, never 酒后不开车. Not so yummy, to be honest. I think you need to keep the pace of sips a little higher in order to really enjoy it, because there's sort of like the numbness and the tingling needs to be still active for the next sip in order for you to feel like it starts to taste sweet. Anyways, okay, so the other thing that I wanted to discuss though was that, because I was at a bar, I think that was last night. And I kind of was thinking last night, like, I'm going to make a night of it. And then I had one beer and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going home. I'm going to sleep. But what, for a split second, for a brief moment, so there was two women and one man were drinking. They came in. I was in the middle of my beer. They came in and started drinking. And I was kind of thinking it's very likely that at some point I will start drinking with them, because there's an extra spot at their table. And, maybe like I can wait to try to talk to them, or they'll come try to talk to me. But the point is, like, once I'm drunk and they're drunk, it's inevitable. If we're sober, it's gonna. And so I was I was like anticipating this and having like a conversation in my head with them. What are they gonna ask me, and what am I gonna say? And I guess I've already said this to a few different people in Taiwan over the past few days. Like, they have pretty much always asked me, like, how long have you been in Taiwan? Why did you come to Taiwan? Like, are you here for travel or business? Those sorts of things. And I was kind of enjoying saying, like, something along the lines of, like, I flunked out of America. I got kicked out of America. My life in America was hopeless. And it's weird. It's a weird thing to say because I'm saying it as a joke, but it's really fucking true. But it's only possible to say it as a joke because being in Taiwan gives me another chance at life, as I was saying earlier today, which is a amazing thing, like something that I believe I will be grateful to Taiwan for the rest of my life for this extra chance. But what was I saying? Basically, yeah, it's basically just not a joke. It's just true. It's just true. I guess my point is this: is that um, a part of me is very tempted to not say I get a second chance in Taiwan because I moved to Taiwan. Therefore, I get another chance. Therefore, I get to have a lower cost of living and keep trying to start this business. Part of me is tempted to say, I fucked up. I fucking failed. It's over. It's hope. Like the reason I came to Taiwan is because I'm a fucking loser. I lost. I lost the game. I lost. I failed as an entrepreneur. I failed as a father. I failed as a person in every single way that a human being can fail, almost probably. And that's it. And I'm just here because I failed out of America. I just failed out of America, and I'm just here now. There's no like, oh, now here I get like lower cost of living, and here I can like have a second chance at my business. No, just like it's over, it's done. I tried, I failed, I got booted out of the country, and had to come here. And this is my best option. You know, a different person would have gone to Thailand or Philippines, but me, I know Chinese, so I came to Taiwan. Um, it's just really tempting to actually take that mindset, to actually believe that, because it's so freeing. Just nothing, just no expectations, just anything I want to do from here on in. It's like, this is just like my life is over, and this is just bonus extra time that I happen to get, that I can do absolutely anything with, no expectations, no demands on it. Just whatever. Just to be a failure, just be a loser and a failure, you know? And just see where that takes me. And maybe it will take me right back to my business and starting a business. And that's what I want to do. But in all honesty, if I were to truly fully embrace that mentality, and then I still managed to find my way back to my business, it would mean more. It would actually mean more than um, doing what I'm doing now, where I'm like, thank God I have another chance. I can keep trying. If I was like, okay, I completely give up on everything in life, and I'm totally free to do anything that I want to do, or just do nothing. I'm free to do nothing if that's what I want. I'm free to become a fat fucking idiot if I want. I'm free to try to swim to Japan and get eaten by sharks if that's what I want to do. Just whatever I want to do, I'm totally free. And then I ended up somehow finding my way back into my business. Maybe go get a job. Maybe get a job find a source of income, any source of income whatsoever, and then immediately start applying chatbots to that. But not because that was my plan for getting a job, but because it was just like obvious. Um, so it's tempting. It's tempting. God, it would be nice to just be like, yeah, I got nothing. It's over. I failed. I don't care. I don't have any pride. I don't have any ego. You don't have to like me. You don't have to accept me. You don't have to think I'm okay or normal. I'm a crazy person. I'm a fucked up crazy person. I failed in life and now I'm here and that's all there is to it. Um, a big part of me just wants to run with that narrative because then there's just nothing. First of all, because it might be true. It might be the most accurate narrative that exists in reality. And secondly, because there's just zero expectations on me, from me, or from anybody else at all. And I'm free to just talk to people and meet people and have whatever relationships develop, and not have any goals or intentions or preconceived uh, ideas about anything at all. Just go wherever the wind takes me, or where, yeah, maybe find my true self for the first time ever by giving up goals. You know, so it is tempting, but I don't think I'm capable of that. I don't think I'm capable of that. I think I'm too neurotic and I'm too compulsively goal oriented, even though I'm also compulsively demand avoidant. So I think even if I were to try to adopt it, it would ultimately be like it's almost like it would be a goal. It's like a Taoist, like somebody forcing themselves to be a Taoist. It's like if you're forcing it, then you're not being a Taoist. So it's contradictory. Like I don't think I can. I don't think I can do that. I have to have my goals. I have to have my things that I'm striving for, striving towards. And to a certain extent, like once you've been striving and striving and striving towards your goals for 20 years straight, like that is who you are at this point, even if it maybe wasn't at first, it is now. And to not allow yourself to attempt to achieve or to fulfill, the end goal that you have been striving for so long is um, very unnatural in its own way. So yeah, even though it's tempting to just be like, I fucking failed. I failed in life. Like all of my dreams and goals and plans and projects and relationships all came to absolutely fucking nothing. And here I am. I am free to waste away in Margaritaville if that's what I want to do. I don't really think that would be any easier for me. Maybe for like 3 days of maybe 3 drunken days or so before, but I can hardly drink. I can hardly even handle drinking. I really just drink one drink and then I'm sleepy. It's very okay. Anyways, that's enough. That's the whole thing. That's the thing. I'm quite happy. I kind of just want to go to sleep, wake up, and get going tomorrow because now I like have this sense of life orientation that I didn't have yesterday. Not only that, but I have this rhythm where I identify problems, I identify contradictory thoughts, cognitive dissonance, and I synthesize it. And if I can do that once, I can do it again and again and again. And I had to move forward in life before I got exposed to a constant supply of ambient marijuana smoke. So I'm looking forward to continuing to do that every day.